According to a post by the Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department, the Mid-Ohio Valley Medical Group is closed as they investigate a potential measles case in their building. According to a statement from the WVU Medicine Camden Clark Medical Center, a patient arrived at one of their primary care locations with possible symptoms of measles. The clinic was disinfected and the patient has been isolated. There have been no confirmed cases of measles at this time. According to the CDC, measles is a highly contagious illness that infects 9 out of 10 people if they are not protected. Symptoms include a high fever, a rash, a runny nose, and more. Symptoms can take 7 to 14 days to appear after coming in contact with measles. The CDC says the best way to protect yourself against the measles is with the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. For more information about where to get the MMR vaccine, you can visit our website at WTAP.com.